Welcome to cryptography session. Today I am going to give an explanation for Chinese remainder theorem. The short form of Chinese remainder theorem is CRT. This theorem is used to solve or find a common value from the set of congruent equations. So the common value is taken as x. So we may able to find out the common value x from the set of congruent values in this thing. A1, M1, A2, M2, AK, MK, these numbers should be relatively prime. Then only we may able to apply this Chinese remainder theorem. So the conditions for Chinese remainder theorems are A1, M1, A2, M2, like that AK, MK values should be relatively prime. Then only we may able to find out the common value x by applying this Chinese remainder theorem. So this condition should be remained. Using this condition only we may able to calculate the value. So let us take three congruent equations. X equivalent to A1 mod M1, x equivalent to A2 mod M2, x equivalent to A3 mod M3, in which A1 M1, A2 M2 and A3 M3 are relatively prime. So they will give the conditions, and we are in need to find out the x value. So it is a four-step process. First we should find out capital M. So capital M is equal to the right side multiplication of values. So M1 into M2 into M3. So first we should predict the M value. Then we should predict capital M1, M2, M3. These three values can be predicted with the help of capital M and M1, M2, M3 values. So the formula is M1 is equal to capital M divided by M1. Like that M2 is equal to capital M divided by M2. M3 is equal to capital M by M3. After calculating M1, M2 and M3, we should find out its inverse. So we want to find out M1 inverse, M2 inverse, M3 inverse. We already know that if M1 and M1 inverse are multiplicative inverse of both, then the formula is M1 into M1 inverse mod M1 is equivalent to 1. So by applying these rules, we try to find out the answer for M1 inverse, M2 inverse and M3 inverse. So after calculation of M1, M2, M3 and its inverse, we apply the formula. So the formula is x is equal to A1 into M1 into M1 inverse plus A2 into M2 into M2 inverse plus A3 into M3 into M3 inverse. After sum up of these three values, the answer should be taken for math calculations. The remainder value should be the x value. For verification, you substitute x value in these equations and you do x mod M1, it should give a remainder A1. If you substitute x mod M2, it should give the remainder A2. If you substitute x mod M3, it should give the remainder A3. In this way, we may able to verify the x value by applying that answers in these equations. So this is the Chinese remainder theorem. Let us take an example for this theorem. Find the solution for the given equations. The equations are x equivalent to 2 mod 3, x equivalent to 3 mod 5 and x equivalent to 2 mod 7. Before applying CRT, first you write the values. So A1 2, A2 3 and A3 2. So this is the left side portion of mod. M1 is 3, M2 is 5, M3 is 7. So these values are at right side of mod. The first and only one condition for applying CRT is GCD of A1 M1, GCD of A2 M2, GCD of A3 M3 should be equivalent to 1. So the condition is satisfied. Let us take the calculations. So capital M is equal to M1 into M2 into M3. So the answer is 105. Second step is M1 is equal to capital M divided by M1. So M value is 105, M1 is 3. So 105 by 3 is 35. M2 is equal to capital M by small m2. So 105 divided by 5 is 21. M3 is equal to capital M divided by M3. So 105 divided by 7. So the answer is 50. Next step is we should find out M1 inverse, M2 inverse, M3 inverse. The formula is M1 into M1 inverse mod small m1, that should be equivalent to 1. So our M1 value is 35. So 35 into M1 inverse mod our small m1 value is 3. So if you take m1 is 1, 35 mod 3 is not equivalent to 1. Let us take m1 inverse is 2. So 35 into 2 is 70. 70 mod 3 is 1. So answer for m1 inverse is 2. Then m2 into m2 inverse mod small m2, that should be equivalent to 1. So here m2 value is 21. I want to find out m2 inverse mod your small m2 value is 5, that should be equivalent to 1. If you substitute m2 inverse is 1, 21 into 1 is 21, 21 mod 5 is 1. So the answer for m2 inverse is 1. Like that, the answer for M3 inverse is also 1. Then for x calculation, the formula is A1 into M1 into M1 inverse plus A2 into M2 into M2 inverse plus A3 into M3 into M3 inverse mod capital M. So 2 into 35 into 2. So it is 140. 3 into 21 into 1. That is 63. 2 into 15 into 1. Answer is 30. So 203. So it is 233. Mod 105. So 2 times it is 210. So 233 minus 210 is 23. So the answer is 23. It is less than 105. So you substitute this x value as 23. So if you substitute 23, 23 mod 3 is, it will give the remainder 2. 23 mod 5, it will give the remainder 3. 23 mod 7, it will give the remainder 2. So the answer is correct and it is verified. Sometimes instead of giving the equation format, they may able to give us a sentential form. We try to construct a sentential form, then we should check the x value. So here the problem is find an integer that has a remainder of 3 when it is divided by 7. So it will give the remainder 3 for dividing this x value by 7. So it can be rewritten as 3 mod 7. And it will give the same remainder for 13 also. So the second equation can be rewritten as x equivalent to 3 mod 13. But it is divisible by 12. If the number is divisible by 12, it will give the remainder as 0. So x is equivalent to 0 mod 12. So these are all the equations. Then you should take A1, M1, A2, M2, A3, M3. And before applying CRT, you just check whether GCD of A1, M1, A2, M2 and A3, M3 are relatively prime or not. If the condition is satisfied, then you apply the 4-step procedures, find the answer and substitute the answer in these equations for verifying whether these 3 remainders are available for dividing that number by 7, 13 and 12. Thank you.